my fairy treasures. Okay, let me take a seat here. Sorry for my chair. Okay, you guys, we are going to make some Christmas decorations. Very easy and very fun, and I think very effective. Okay, so what I'm using to make these Christmas, and they're big. I love a big ornament. I don't have a lot of big ornaments on my tree, but I am this year. It makes it more of a really beautiful statement to have really nice big ornaments. So I'm excited to add these. Okay, and what I'm using is I'm using the Dollar Tree tags. You guys, I went back to get more of these tags, and they had ran out at all 3 of my stores, and I had bought kind of a lot. I want to buy a little bit more because I wanted to make some of these for Christmas gifts. But if you go to look for these tags and you can't find them, you could cut these. If you have one at least, you can use it as a pattern and cut it out of cardboard. I'll show you one that I did out of cardboard, and it works out nice. Or you can take the old, like if you have some old signs, it's made out of this real thin particle board wood, and you can just take a little, take your little saw, you know, your little electric saw, and just cut some out yourself. If you don't know how to use one of those little electrical little saws, I have a little small one, ask your husband to teach you so you can learn it. It's really quick and easy to learn how to use one of those. So either way, you can cut your own out using this as a template and, you know, draw it out. Or you can draw them out on cardboard and use them, make some out of cardboard. Okay, anyway, I want to show you. I'm trying to think if I'm going to end up flipping this video. Yeah, I am going to flip this video. All right, so look. Are these precious? Oh my God, I love them. And you know, I'm wondering if I need to, it might be better if I just, I'm pretty close. If I just do it like this. Look how cute. And I'll bring it up too. That's what I'll do. I'll lay it down, then I'll bring it up so you can see it kind of close. Isn't she adorable? Okay, there's a, I'm just going to show you all the ones I've created. There's a lady who creates those dolls. Or these stuffed animals. To me, they look like little precious dolls. Her last name is like M-A-J. I've been trying to figure out what her name is because I used to have her saved on one of my computers, on my iPads, but that iPad broke, so I had to get a new one. So I can't find her, and she's not on YouTube anymore, and I can't, anyway, and I can't even say her last name because she's like from like, I don't know, you guys, some other country. And I'm not even sure what country she's from. So the last name started like M-A-J, and it had like 15 letters in it. This right here was fabulous. Isn't that image of the blue truck awesome? Okay, this was a bag at Walmart, and a Christmas bag, and I went up close, making sure that nothing was in the frame except for this Christmas truck, right? And like the shelving and all that wasn't in frame. So I went up pretty close. I took a picture of it. Then I came home and I printed it out on my printer. So I have this in 4x6 because this is printed out on 4x6. I have it 5x7. I have it full 8x10. So these are printables. We'll go through all of it. But these right here are printables from Graphic Fairy labels. They're very like French looking or very Parisian. I love more French country. Okay. Again, this is that lady that I love her work. So hopefully I can look this up before I put this video on so that you guys can go and if you want, go ahead and save some of those images to your computer. Okay. And this is a Christmas decoration from Dollar Tree. And then I've just distressed the wood. Okay, so that's all of those ones, like the shabby chic kind of ones. So my tree this year, it always has been that shabby chic like you just seen. But I'm adding black and white checks and black and white stripes, like the Mackenzie checks to my whole thing. So let me show you those. Aren't they cute, you guys? Now, OurGreen Acres, I got the idea. Okay, OurGreen Acres, I saw her making these tags too as like Christmas decorations, or you can hang these in packages, or you can just hang them around your house for Christmas. At any rate, she was making ones that were more vintage, like shabby chic. And then I was going to make these ones. I already had this idea in mind, but then I seen her making the shabby chic ones. So I went, oh, I need to make shabby chic ones. So that's why I got the idea for those. This is how I was originally going to do them, because I need to get more black and white stripes, black and white checks, so I can add this look to my Christmas tree. Oh, and this is the cardboard one. See? So it works out pretty nice doing the cardboard. So, and that way you don't have to bust out with an electric saw or anything. The jigsaw, that's what the smaller type of, just a jigsaw type of electric saw. No, I'm not completely saying that right. Again, with the black and white. Oh, and the paper I got, like this paper here, both of these, the black and white stripes and the black and white checks. This is all just scrap paper from Hobby Lobby that you get in the bulk section. And right now, they're usually $4 for $1. Isn't this so cute? And I'll show you guys today how to make the bows. They're simple. These are Christmas decorations that you buy like 5 or 6 in a pack. Merry Christmas, and then the reindeer. Here's another one. Dollar Tree decoration. This bow, isn't this cute? It has a couple of colors in it that I don't normally use, but it has the pink and the black in it, so I think it's really cute. Got that little ribbon from Hobby Lobby a long time ago. Here's another one. Isn't it cute? It's so vintage looking. I love it. Again, Graphic Fairy. All these are Graphic Fairy, all these labels. So you want to go to Graphic Fairy and put in, what did I put in? I put in French Farmhouse. I think French Farmhouse, and you'll get like stuff like this. Even if you put Vintage Farmhouse or French Farmhouse, all of that will come up. All these labels will come up, so you can get those. Here's another one. Again, the Dollar Tree. You guys pick these up when you see them. These are gorgeous. These can be used on your tree. They can be used on a stack of books that you paint white and stress out. They're gorgeous. I buy tons of them every year. And then here's another one. Same, but with the stripe paper instead. Okay, so we're going to make all of these. I'm very excited. Let me put these aside. I really wish I had something to put these in. Okay. Just a second. I want to put these away somewhere so that I can have more room. So let me put these up. And we'll get started. We'll make some of these and then some of the vintage ones. Okay, hopefully nothing happens. I just kind of threw those over there. I'm sure they'll be fine. Okay, so these are the ones that we want to work on. We're going to work on all 3 of these. And these are all the vintage ones. Also, I want to work on this one too. Okay, and what this one is, it's this from Dollar Tree. We're going to work on the back. Okay, so the one I want to do first is the one with paint, because the paint has to dry, but we're dry brushing, so we're not using a lot of paint, so we'll come back to these after we've put the paint on them. All of them are going to get the white paint, and we're going to do it very distressed so that the brown shows through. And on one of them, after it dries, I'll come back with light pink and put the light pink on there. Okay, so let's do this. Let me find a brush to use for this. Oh, this will be a perfect brush. So I'm not going to wet it. I'm going to use it dry. And let me get some. You can either use white paint, or you can use that like white gesso or Kills. I have some white paint, acrylic paint, so I'm just going to use that. And I'm going to use this apple barrel. You get it at Walmart for 50 cents. It's cameo pink. If you like that really pretty pastel-y pink, really light and soft, get that, what's it called? Apple barrel cameo pink. And it's only 50 cents. You guys, that's the place to go if you really need to stock up on your paint. Is go to Walmart and get their paints, and you stock up on your acrylic paints. unless Michael's, they will have like a $3 or $4 sale on their paint. And when they have that sale, that's the best deal. But if you can't catch that sale, which they don't have it very often, at least I haven't caught it very often, then go to Walmart and get your acrylic paint. But I'm also not paying attention to acrylic paint sales too much, because I have an obscene amount of acrylic paint. So yeah. Okay. So you want to load your brush up, but you want to take a lot of it off. So you can just go over this like this. The wet spot here was, I used this one stuff that I have to get a label off. All right, let's just do one at a time. And then I had to use some alcohol to get the that. It kind of leaves an oil residue, so that's why it looks wet. No major. Okay, so see how there's plenty of wood still showing through? Fabulous. And that way you get this nice distressed look, and you don't have to worry about sanding anything. Just doing the dry brush. I love it. Now let's suppose this was white underneath here. You could paint this dark brown first and then dry brush over that, and it would look like wood, right? It just saves you a lot of time to get that look. And this is the kind of brush I'm using. This isn't quite one of those kind of brushes, but you could just go to Home Depot. Let me show you if I have one. Yeah, I have one sitting here. Just these. Go get yourself one of these. You don't have to have this. You can use any paintbrush. Just make sure you use it dry. But these really help you do it really unevenly. Damn that. Okay. I was going to throw that brush out because it's some paint dried on it. But you know what you can do with a paintbrush like that? You could decorate it. I love to decorate paintbrushes. Okay. Perfect. And let's do this one right here. I am going to take, well, probably not. I'm probably going to take anything off of the back of it. If I was going to do it as a, if I was going to do any of these as, what do you call it? As a gift, I would paint the backs, like paint them white or whatever. And I am going to do some of, I am going to do some of these ones, the tag ones, as a gift, so. And there was plenty of these light bulb looking ones when I was at Dollar Tree. The one that they didn't have plenty of was the, I'm going to wipe this off, was the tags. They have the tag ones anywhere. Everyone must love the wooden tags. I'm sure a lot of people are doing DIYs with them. But it's only, what, November 4th or 5th? So, I'm sure Dollar Tree will be getting another batch of those in. So, I'm going to check in the next few days. Or actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to check in, because I will save so much money. I'm going to take one of the signs I have of theirs and just cut out my own. I forgot that's what I was going to do. I told you guys about it, and that's what I am going to do. Okay, so we got the white here. You know what? One of these I want to just brush over some pink. So, let me see how dry this is. Yeah, that first one I did, how dry is this one? They're both pretty dry. All right, so let's just take this one and we'll just brush over the pink right now, because it's pretty. And that's the nice thing about when you're doing stuff like this, you're not using that much paint, so it will dry pretty quickly. And we're just going to dry brush over the white now. And the reason I used, I really haven't seen anyone doing this technique like this. Not that no one's not done it. I don't take credit for anything, because everybody's probably done everything. But the reason I'm dry brushing over the white is I want some white to show through. But also, if you paint over the white, more of the pastel pink's going to show up. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, the brown underneath will probably just, you know, can dull it out. And I want it to look like there's plenty of pink, too. Okay, that looks good. That's what I wanted right there. All right, so let's now just take up all of this paint. Just got paint all over my hands. Normally I put the paint back into the jar because I hate wasting paint, but we're making a video, you guys. We don't got time for all that. So let's just wipe all this off. If you use a dry paper towel, when you use wet, it smears. If you use dry, you can just wipe it off and it won't smear anymore. All right, let me put that away. Let me just wipe my hands with a baby wipe really quickly. You want to make sure that your baby wipes stay moist. This little Betty Crocker thing is perfect. Dollar Tree. I think you get 3 for $1 in a pack, so those are a good little deal. They're also good for your food too. Anyway. Always promoting Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree. I'm not sponsored, but Dollar Tree, sponsor me, please. Okay, so these three, let's let these further dry, and we'll go deal with some other things while these all dry. Okay, so let's just let these sit here on the side and dry. They'll be dry by the time we're done. Okay. Oh, next. Now this one, I want to use this image. This is that lady I was telling you about. This is scrapbook paper. Scrapbook paper. You can use scrapbook paper. That's music notes. But this right here is real music note paper. When you go to thrift stores, always be looking out for music notes, music notebooks. I have several because I'm always looking for those when I go to thrift stores. So anyway, but if you don't have that and you want music note paper, just go Hobby Lobby or Michael's or any of them on their bulk section usually have music note paper. Or look through your scrapbook, your scrapbook pads. Usually there's music note paper in there. Okay, so what I did is I took the music note paper, I put this down, took a pencil, traced around it, cut it, and that's how I came up with that. Okay. Because I do some editing, but like I do limited editing. That's why I kind of prepare ahead of time things like cutting things out. And somebody said to me that, you know, they feel like that takes more time maybe. But you know what, to me it takes more time to go back through and do a whole lot of editing. And I'm going to make this stuff anyway, so I had to cut it out anyway. So that's how I look at it. Oh, what I like to do, what I was doing is I was putting my glue on the paper and then attaching it. Can I tell you how much better it is to put the glue, your decoupage on the wood surface itself or whatever surface, and then just, because this gets all gluey and it's everywhere and I can't maneuver it. It's about to fold in on itself. And then yesterday I discovered, just put it on the surface. Duh. Sometimes you're just doing things the hard way. And I'm just using decoupage medium on this. You could use Eileen's Tacky. You can use any of it. Okay. You could also maybe, if you have a good glue stick, use a glue stick. I did a glue stick on a couple of them. I just don't know how good the paper sticks to wood. So that's why I decided to do it like this. But so far it's sticking to the wood just fine. Okay, so I'm going to bring myself down a little further. There we go. Someone will ask me, because every video somebody does, the reason I have a mirror is so that I don't have to keep getting up and looking at my phone to see if I'm in frame. And that way, I know that I'm always in frame. I'm doing a tutorial or a process video. Not being in frame is not good. Okay, so there we go. See how much smoother that goes if you put the damn glue on the surface and then you just attach your paper. So much easier. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, now after this dries, I am going to then go around and just trim up. Oh, I don't have to. Sometimes there's a little bit of paper left there, and I trim it up a little bit, but it's good. So I'm not going to worry about trimming it up. All right, nice and clean surface. Make sure there's no glue everywhere. The next thing I want to do is these I would say pick up, you guys. They're so good with your distressed inks. Also, if you do chalk pastels or Jane Davenport's pastels, they're great for that. I'm going to use Distress Oxide Vintage Photo, and I'm going to use Distress Oxide Antique Linen. Pick these up from Dollar Tree, you guys. These are fabulous. And I'll explain what I'm talking about. I like these better than, and I love Tim Holtz. You guys know I love me some Tim Holtz, but I like these actually better than the Tim Holtz. You have a nice handle. I have one for every color of oxides. I have one for all my colors of my Jane Davenport pastel palette. Okay, the reason I like antique linen, look what it does. Isn't this beautiful? It ages the paper beautifully. Now, for this, I'm not going to wet it. I just want to age the paper quickly. But if I wanted to, I could have done that. I could have wet it, put some on my mat, wet it, brought it up, then dried it. But we're not doing all that today. Okay, so see how nicely it's aged it? Love it. Then I'm taking the Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. You could just take, you don't have to have the Distress Oxide. You could have just the regular Distress. But I'm going to use the Distress Oxide. And we're going to go around to the edges. And edge this out. And some people might ask, you know, should you wait for the glue to dry? I don't know. It's working out good. You're trying to have a distressed look anyway, so I don't think it matters. Right on the corners, I like to get it kind of dark. Okay. And then I like to just take my, after I have pretty much nothing else on it, just blend out from there just a little bit so it doesn't have such a harsh line. And it blends right into the rest of it and blends into that antique linen. All right. Keep those out because we're going to use those again. Okay, so now we're going to put her there. I just want to clip the edges a little bit on this. If I want, I could use my corner chomper, but I'm just going to go like this, just with my scissors. I just want to just trim the edges just a little bit. Okay, I kind of did more than a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Perfect. You know, let's bring this down here. Oh, before I do that, because we need to know where the hole is, take a skewer, take whatever, and go ahead and poke your hole, because that's how you're going to hang it. Okay. Then you know exactly where to put this at, because you don't want to put this over the hole. Yeah, I think I might do that because I am going to put a little I'm going to put this little Paris Vines probably somewhere on here. I'll tell you how I made those too. Okay, now on this part I am going to go ahead and use my glue stick. I'm going to use this Yoo-Hoo glue stick. Before, I just didn't know how a glue stick with paper and wood, how long, you know, how good that would last. So that's why I didn't do glue stick to the wood. But paper to paper, I know we're going to be good, so. There we go. I always say no glue is bad. It's just the right glue for the situation. That's what I say. So you will say, oh, I hate hot glue, or I hate this glue. I don't hate any glue. Whatever glue is going to work for the situation. Now, I wish I would have got that a little bit more centered, but am I going to totally worry about that? No. You guys like, Angela, you don't totally worry about anything. Do I want to put this up here? Okay, this says Buttons and Company. Aren't these cute? They look like I spent a lot of money on it, huh? Paris and Company. Okay. What I did is I took a piece of paper. I went to my computer. I chose this fancy script, and I just wrote Button and Company. I typed out Button and Company all the way across, like 10 times. Then I did Paris and Company 10 times. I have some other sayings, and you guys are going to see them. Let me see if I have any right here. I think I have one that says Buttons. Buttons and Company. So I put Buttons and Company. And I just did it like 10 times going across. And then I printed them out on cardstock. And then, I think this is Vintage Photo. Actually, wet. I used it, put Vintage Photo on my mat, and then ran these through it. So they look really super coffee stained. But just to let you know, if you want stuff like Buttons and Company, Button and Company, Paris Company, I have one that says Vintage Finds. Any of those really neat sayings, or any French sayings you see, just type them out. And then make your own little labels, like your own little Tim Holtz labels, for free. Okay. I think that that's a really good tip. And then you can have as many as you want. I don't have to buy a stamp. I don't have to buy a little pack of words. And where I got these little sayings like Paris and Company, or Vintage Finds, which I don't have that here, or Button and Company. There was a girl, she was doing, I think, a junk journal, and she had all these stamps that had said all this. So I wrote all that. I'm going to put this right here. So I wrote all those down, all the stamps she had that I liked, that she was using these little labels, and then I made up my own. I have one that just says just vintage. And do it in a really nice fancy writing. In a really fancy script like I did here. I'm not sure which one I used. There's a lot of different ones. Just one second, you guys. Alexa, off.
11 a.m. alarm stopped on Kyle's second echo dot.
Okay, so look how pretty that looks. Oh, and I want to do a little bit of distressing around there with my Vintage Photo. Just the tip, I'm going to just do a little bit of distressing around this so it doesn't look too, makes it look a little bit more vintage, and it blends in with whatever else I'm doing here. There we go. Isn't she just awesome? Look how vintage that looks. And it's all from this. Love it. And I loved these tags. I think these are fabulous too. So, but I love this more. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, and I'm only going to do it on this one tag, is you can take, this is what I did. Either get fabric or you can get sheets. You can get clothing. I think it'd be really precious to take some of your children's clothing and that, you know, that's too small, and start ripping it up in strips. And so these are a bunch of strips of fabric I have. Or a lot of times I go to thrift stores and I get sheets. And I use sheets for fabric because that's the cheapest way to get fabric. Anyway, I ripped up all these, see? So, and these are going to go through the hole here. So, and so I have a bunch of my own handmade basic ribbon. So, okay, so there's this pink. So I have a pink one, and then And this has like a little bit of like pinky roses or something on it. And this is kind of busy work. It takes a little bit of time, not a lot of time. So on the rest of the tags, I won't be doing this. I'm just doing it on this one. And I have this really kind of peachy pink color, which I think will look really pretty. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pencil go through it like this. Okay, and if you take your pencil and just do this, it'll make that hole, it'll drill that hole just a little bit bigger. See what you need. Take a little bit of I have a little bit of water over here. I'm going to dip this in and dip in a little bit of water so that you can go right through the hole. Okay, the hole's going to get filled up, but we'll be fine. And then I have some water here. Dip this again. And just go like this. And try to get it through. Now, it starts getting a little bit thicker. You guys pick these up from Dollar Tree. They're little scorers, but on the other end, it's a pokey tool. You probably have a pokey tool, but if you don't, this pokey tool is awesome. It also makes nice holes. If you're doing some journaling and you need to put some holes in the spot, it works out perfect. Okay, wet the end again. And get it like this. And then poke that through again. Did we get it? Yes. All right, so then kind of get these up evenly. See why I look in my thing? I got a frame for a second. Okay, and then let's tie these. There we go. Tie these to the front. Just like that. And then tie these again. Okay. And I like having it kind of tied to the front like that. And then you can just let these hang. Look how fabulous that looks. Isn't that just so adorable? I love it. If you can, you could stick a couple more in there if you want. You could trim these just a little bit, like right there. Also, one other thing, you could also put a bow up here if you want, but I put that Paris & Company there, so I'm not going to put a bow. You need a hang tag, right, to hang on the back. So what I do is I just take a piece of twine. So just take a piece of twine, which you can get at Dollar Tree. Turn this over. And then just glue that right here on the back. Right where in the center of that, just add some hot glue. What the heck was that? Just fell. I don't know. And just put this here. And you got yourself a nice little hanger. Just so I can have to decide how much of a hanger I want. There we go. I kind of had that too long. There we go. Now, to make this look cleaner, if you want, you could put a little piece of felt on the back of it, like a little white piece of felt, which will look a lot cleaner. Like if you painted this white, then you could put a little piece of felt right there. Or you could put like a little button. That would look really cute. Or a little rhinestone. If you're concerned about making the back look really nice. I'm not concerned about this because this is going on my tree. But when I do my ones for gifts, I'll paint this white and I'll probably put a button right there. So that it looks, you know, nice on the back. Just because it'll be a gift. But this is for myself and for my tree. So now I have a little hanger. See? And now I can hang. Look how adorable this is. I love this. So cute. Okay, so that's another little vintagey one we have going. Let's go to one like this that we have the paint. Actually, let's go to this. This is really super simple. You're just going to take a one of these labels. Now this is from Graphics Fairy. Isn't this fabulous? Love it. It says Chocolat Levant Paris. So we're going to just put that on here and let's go ahead. What are we going to use? Yeah. Let's use some decoupage medium. Now, since this, I'm not going over the whole wood, I'm just going on this. I am going to put this on the back of the paper. Again, you could use a glue stick, but then you're doing the paper onto the wood and I'm not sure how that sticks. So we're just going to do it like this. Okay, and then I'm going to put this like right here. Okay, I think that's what I want. And if you get any wrinkling, I'm not concerned about wrinkling. I think because you're doing things, look at, we're doing everything looks very aged, right? So if you get some wrinkling, that just adds to the aging. That's how I look at it. That's how I see it. Okay, the reason I left a little bit, I would have probably centered this a little bit more, but I knew that I wanted to use one of my little handmade little button company tags. You could even put Merry Christmas and have it in that kind of writing. I just love how that looks. I could even do Paris and Company, which I'm going to do Paris and Company there, and then Paris Button and Company there, and Paris and Company down here. That'll look good. I have one that's already trimmed up. So let's do that. Now, I know I just said that, but since it's such a little spot, I'm going to use this glue stick because it's such a small little piece. Hopefully all will be fine. Oh, well, you know what this will do? This will test how paper glues with the glue stick on the wood. So I'll know when I do the ones for gifts, I'll know what's going on. I'll know what's going on. Okay. All right. Aren't these fun, you guys? Oh my God, they could be for your tree. They can hang just in your craft room. These are cute just to hang like on a little shelf in your craft room. I have a shelf and then I put a bunch of nails on the edge so I can hang things off my shelf. And I definitely will probably not put these away at Christmas time. They'll just go right in my craft room and hang in my craft room because this is my craft room style, like this. You can give these as gifts. There's just so many things. All right, now we're going to take vintage photo, or we're going to take walnut stain. I'm going to try walnut stain on this one. This is walnut stain distress oxide. Let me see if I have a distress oxide. I might just use my same brush or my same, yeah, because I don't feel like looking for it. So I'm going to use my one that I use for the vintage photo. I'm going to use for the walnut stain. Walnut stain's a little darker. Let me see if this is what I want to use. Yes, it sure is. And I'm just edging this out to give it a little bit more distressing. If you don't have these, I highly suggest getting them. These you can use, I use these in my art journals, my junk journals. I use it wet to stain paper, to like copy dye papers and stuff, and documents that I use in my art journaling and my junk journaling. Look, I'm using it in DIYs. This Tim Holtz distress rings are just the bomb. And I'm probably speaking to the choir because most of us use Tim Holtz everything. So, but if you don't know about these, I would get these. Okay, you know what I'm going to do for the paper? I'm going to wipe this off. I want to use the vintage photo. Oh, before I use the vintage photo, let's use the antique linen to distress the paper a little bit. Okay, there we go. Love the antique linen. Oh, it's so fabulous. Especially on a white piece of paper that you need to, you know, get that distressing going. It's fabulous. All right, I'm going to use vintage photo. I'm going to use vintage photo on the edges of the paper. I like to just go straight and get it on and then blend it out a little bit on the edges. That's what I find works the best. And I'm just going to reapply to the very corners. I like to get my corners nice and dark. Okay. There's no right or wrong with any of this. It's just whatever you want to do. Let me move all this stuff back. Give myself room. Now, again, you could take those same pieces. This time, if I was to do this, let me tell you what, I'm not going to do it for the sake of time, but I would use, on this one, I would use this peach color. I would use, this is another sheet that I did, that I ripped up. I would use this. If I have some lace, which I do have, I might run lace through this too. That would look really pretty, okay, for your topper. But for the sake of time, we're not going to, you know, put the handmade laces through, or handmade scraps, whatever you want to call it. Isn't that just fabulous? So shabby chic, so vintage, so Parisian, so farmhouse. This could be shabby chic. This could be French farmhouse. This could be just farmhouse. Any of these, they just go with everything. So, okay, so there's another one. This one is a quickie. We'll just do this one really quickly. For the sake of time, I am going to continue using this glue stick on this paper. I can say this, I do like the quickness and how it's not so messy using this glue stick. So hopefully this glue stick sticks to this wood good. I know you guys can hear it in my voice. I'm like a little nervous about it, but it's for myself. So if it doesn't stick good, I can always just redo it. No major. Oh, this little lid on this. Look how fun that is. Oh, that's so cute. I have one more little Paris find. Paris & Company, we might put that right there. I just want to trim the edges off of this real quick. Might trim another one of these out. I think I will. I'll show you the sheet that I have of these. There it is. And once you make one of these little sheets of like these little sayings, make sure that you make several copies and you have a master copy. So you can just make copies over and over. So that says Button and Company, Paris. Oh, this one says Paris Finds, Paris and Company. So let's do Button and Company at the top of this one. Like I said, you could just put Merry Christmas and do it in this really fancy writing. And that would be really cute. So, and the reason this looks like this is I think this is a few different colors. I think it's vintage photo, walnut stain, and maybe the rust color of the distress oxides. You put them on your glass mat or something like this, and then you wet it with water, and then just go like this, and you get this kind of coffee staining. So that's how I got this. Fabulous. Oh, let me give you a couple more sayings. So if you want to make, just a second. Going on. Okay. I got a crafty avalanche about to happen over here. If you want to make more of these, just trying to see if I had any other sayings. Okay, vintage finds. So that's one saying you can do. And see how many times I did it? I did it over and over and over. This one says Button and Company. And this says Paris Finds and Paris and Company. And this one says Vintage Finds. Okay. And look at that writing. Isn't that just so cool? Okay, so if you want to make these yourself, so you have your own like little Tim Holtz sayings that you can put in your junk journals, your art journals, on projects like this, stop this video and write those down. And then today, go to your computer and print those and start doing that and print yourself up a bunch of these. And the reason I say go do it today, because a lot of times you're like, oh, that's a great idea. And then you forget about the idea. But I find if I see something that I really like, I try to do it right away. Because even if I write it down, which you can write it down, but if you put it into practice right away, then you always have it. And then you'll make sure that you do it. If not, it always becomes something you should have done. And I think that in this fancy writing, that Happy Holidays would be really cool too. And so I don't know the name of the script, but that's what that script looks like, just so you can see up close. Anything that's very French or, you know, just fancy looking is what you're looking for. Very French looking, but just fancy. So that says Button and Company. This says Paris and Company. I think this one says Paris 7 and Company. I don't know why I have Paris 7 and Company, but whatever. Also, if you have like some sayings that you like, you can do that. Different quotes. Make your own little quote sheets up and put it in this fancy writing. And you can have your own little quote sheets. So instead of buying, you know, Diane Reevely, Tim Holtz, they all have their little quote sheets. But you can make up your own little quote sheets and pay nothing. Or you just go to your computer, choose a beautiful font and type those out and then make copies. And then you just cut them out. Then you always have your own. You don't have to buy a stamp. You don't have to buy anybody's little quote packs. That's what I've been doing for years. That is adorable. Oh, let's distress this. I could leave it, all of it, just like this. I wonder if I want to. And not distress it. Because it looks kind of cool. The only thing I'm going to do to distress this, I'm not going to add any dark distressing. I'm going to take a Stabilo and just go around the edges. So I am going to do a little distressing. but it's going to be black, so it'll just look like this paper just has a little bit of blackness on it. Just go on the edges a little bit. Okay, so wet my finger over here on the side with my baby wipe. Wet this baby wipe a little more. Okay, and then just do this. If you don't have a Stabilo, if you have a black watercolor pencil, that's basically what a Stabilo is. If you have a watercolor crayon, you can use that. If you have an oil pastel, you can use that. Just don't wet your finger. Just use the heat of your finger, and that'll take care of that. Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted right there. Look how pretty and vintagey that one looks. I love it. You know what? I am so obsessed with these. I'm more obsessed with these than I thought I was going to be. I'm probably going to Dollar Tree and picking up a bunch more because I really like this. And look how thick the wood is on this one. A lot thicker than than the tags even. These are fabulous. Yeah. I'm going to go pick up a bunch more of these. I didn't think this was going to turn out this cool. At this point, it doesn't even look like a Christmas bulb. It just looks like a really cool shape. Love it. I'm going to go pick a bunch of those this afternoon. Okay, so we have another one. Let's make one of these really quick. Okay, again, this is the paper from Hobby Lobby in the bulk section there. I went ahead and, traced it and cut it out. Let's take some of our decoupage glue. Sorry if I'm getting a little quiet. Just focusing for a second. What I'm thinking about is getting my butt back over to Dollar Tree and getting a bunch more of those bulbs. As if I need to go to Dollar Tree. I really need to keep my hiney out of the Dollar Tree, but I can't help it, you guys. I'm addicted to the Dollar Tree. To me, Dollar Tree is one big craft store. It really is. It is like the biggest, cheapest, best craft store. And I consider the whole store a craft store because you can DIY stuff from the kitchen section. There's so much stuff in there. And I have one that's around the corner from my house. It's like 10 seconds. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, what the hell? Okay, so let's put this on right here. And again, I pre-cut these out for the sake of time for this video, so. I love the stripes. Isn't the stripes cool? Love it. I love checks, black and white checks, and I love black and white stripes. They're fabulous. Now see, I got a little bit, we'll trim that at the end, okay, after it dries. Okay, now we're going to take our little French label, and it's going to go right there in the center. And I'm going to use my glue stick, my Yoo-Hoo. Is going on? Oh, let's put this on where we think we want it to go. Okay. And then look at this. This is fabulous. Okay, I got this. There was a dollar store and it just closed, you guys. Oh, probably because of this pandemic. More stuff is closing because of this pandemic. These small businesses. It's also across the street from Dollar Tree, you guys. When I seen, okay, there was this local dollar store. It's been open for like maybe 2 or 3 years. And then Dollar Tree went in right across. I was like, oh my God. And it's not better than Dollar Tree. So I pop in there once in a while. They got some cool stuff, especially in their jewelry section. Let's look at this. Isn't that fabulous? I do have one. I've kept out one of these for a necklace. But I bought a necklace that had this with a bunch of little ones like this. Anyway, I think it's fabulous. And I'm gonna put it right on top of here. Isn't that gonna look cool? I think so. And we are going to, now I could E6000 this on, but it's onto paper. So when metal goes or plastic goes onto paper, you can use hot glue and it really sticks well. So we're going to go with hot glue. And get this kind of where I want it. Plop it down. I think this looks cool. How cool that looks. Okay, I'm just poking a hole through the top so we know where to put our... Actually, we're just going to put a hanger on... Are we going to put a hanger on this? Yeah, we'll put a hanger on this. Probably a twine hanger. And then I do want to put, I think, a bow. I'm going to show you how to make a bow. I told you I was going to... This is the last thing we're going to do. I told you I was going to make a bow. And I didn't... Because we're running out of time. But this goes on here. Okay? So you know how this one would go on the pink. And then this one I was going to do, well, yeah, those I won't even do. Anyway, I had a lot more I wanted to do with you guys, but we can only do so much on camera. Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want to make my bow. This right here, this is the last bit of it. I bought this from, it's the best deal going. You get like 75 feet of ribbon from Sam's Club, and look how beautiful. It has Paris on it. Isn't that just gorgeous? So I think I'm going to make my bow out of that. The bow out of this. The ends here, I got to trim those off. The reason they're already kind of cut out is because I was using this as a bow for something else. Make sure you never throw any of your bows away. If you make a bow and you don't want it anymore, just keep it so you can make something else out of it. Always. Okay, that's enough for another bow. In fact, yeah, that'll be enough for another bow. Then you want to take a pipe cleaner. This is a pipe cleaner split in half, so half a pipe cleaner. Let me move this over. You want to take some glue. Put it, there we go. What I'm trying to do is I just want to fold this a little bit so I can put the glue where I want it. Okay. This bow might be pretty big, but I'm fine with that. Okay. At the top of here. And this is just a way to make a really quick bow. And this is wired ribbon. But you can make this, it doesn't have to be wired ribbon. You could use just a piece of fabric and do the same thing like I'm making this bow with frayed edges and stuff. Just take a piece of fabric, and I think this is 2 inches wide. Let me just measure. Do I have a ruler? I don't have a ruler in here, but this is probably 2 inch wide ribbon. So you can take a piece of fabric, cut it 2 inches wide, and then do the same thing I'm doing, just like this, which would look really shabby and vintagey. And then you want to take the center and just go like this. Simple. But I'm just using a piece of ribbon, a leftover piece of ribbon. And I like to use, you can use anything. You can use, I could have used twine, but I didn't get this quite in the center. Let me scoot this over. But I like to use pipe cleaners because just automatically, you can just start twisting. You don't have to tie anything. That's another thing, you guys. Dollar Tree has gold and silver pipe cleaners. If you get gold and silver, especially gold, it goes with anything, right? So you don't have to worry about a certain color. So if you need a pink pipe cleaner or a red pipe cleaner, you can use a pink or a gold. They go with anything. They're neutral. So pick up 5 or 6 packs so that you have enough pipe cleaners for the year for whatever projects you're doing. That's what I do. I picked up, I think, 10 sets of gold pipe cleaners. I didn't even get silver. I just got all gold. Perfect. Okay, so we made our bow. I'm going to trim this off. So then just kind of fold that down like this so it doesn't poke you. Now you could leave this beautiful, I kind of made it off center, but who cares? Look how beautiful that bow is. But what I want to do, just to cover the center, you can take a little piece of fabric. I'm taking a little piece of, I'll show you, ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree. It's this ribbon here, which I wish I would have bought all they had when they had it out. I wasn't doing as many DIYs, so I didn't really think about it. But now that I'm doing a lot of DIYs, I'm so perturbed at myself that I didn't pick up a ton of it. And I saw a ton of it too. I'm just moving this over a little bit if I can. They had a ton of it at my Dollar Tree. And they had some other ones when they were selling all those Farmhouse ribbons. Like they had ones with like pigs and very farmhousey. Yeah. I picked up 0 of it at the time. I think it was over the summer. It's okay. It'll come out again, I'm sure. I found this, the black and white check, so hopefully. So I'm just covering that middle part of the bow. And again, you can just take a little piece of fabric and do this if you're doing a scrap piece of fabric, how I told you how you can make a bow out of a scrap piece of fabric. There we go. I know I look awkward. I'm trying to get the hot glue off my damn fingers. Okay. I'm just kind of pulling that as tight as I can and gluing it all at the same time. Okay. And then just cut that off. And then let me just kind of fluff up this bow so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I could have made this smaller too if I wanted to, but I'm good with this size. Isn't this adorable, you guys? Look at that little bow. You can make a bunch of these little bows and put them on your tree. And if you did that, you could also leave the gold pipe cleaner, and that could be your way to tie the bow onto the tree. I just thought about that. That would be so cute to have all these bows on my tree. You guys, I need another DIY, like I need a hole in the head. Okay, so I'm going to put a piece of twine through there, and that's how this will hang. But I won't do that on the video. But I am going to put this on right there. Do I want to put it? Oh, yeah, I want to put it right there. Okay. So take some hot glue. Decide what I'm doing. There we go. And press down for just a minute because it's gonna need a second. You guys, I hope you're inspired to make these. These are so fun. They're going to be so beautiful on my tree. These would make great tags, like on a gift, because it'd be part of the gift. These beautiful tags made out of these wood tags. This would be gorgeous. They'd be great Christmas gifts, which I'm going to be giving out some of these for Christmas gifts, especially for your crafty friends. When you have 4, 5, 6 friends, and you know you don't have time to make things that are super involved, but things like this would be so cute. You can make them in bulk. And give them to your crafty friends for Christmas, a couple of them. Love it. Look how pretty this looks. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. And I love mixing the black and white checks with the stripes. Very cool. Okay, you guys, so let me just lay down what we have done. I got stuff all over my... What am I talking about? I got stuff all over my craft room. Let me lay out the ones I've done so far. So you guys can get a kind of an idea of what we did together. Did we just do this one? Yeah, we just did this one. And we just did that one. So that quickly, you guys, in an hour, I think we've been on there an hour, we've gotten all these done. The only thing we have to do is I want to add some of the, you know, the little handmade ribbon to this and add some handmade ribbon to that. But look how adorable. Absolutely love these. Let me scoot this over so you can see everything. Absolutely love these. Look how adorable. Okay, you guys, that is it. I hope you've been inspired. If you haven't, oh, and go over to OurGreen Acres. I'll put her link to her below. She is awesome. I love her channel. She was, someone shared her channel with me here from YouTube. Girl, why do I keep forgetting the girl, the channel who told me to go to this channel? It's because of my brain. It's not you, honey. It's me. Go visit OurGreen Acres. Love her channel. Just such great ideas. Oh, just a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of great ideas. And that's it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up. Any comments or questions, leave them below. If you would, you guys, I'd really appreciate if you'd share just with one person. If you could think of anybody who would like to see my videos, whether it's my crafting videos, my mixed media videos, and or my Dollar Tree videos. If you could just share my channel with just one of your friends, one of your crafty friends, or one of your friends, that'd be awesome. And remember, you guys, do something nice for someone today. And remember, my friends, it's very, very important. We are more alike than we are not. Okay? All right. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye! Happy holidays!